They built the house in 1942, 41, 42. Nana worked with the contractor, and she designed it because at that time she said, I knew I was only going to have one child, and I never wanted to move into an apartment after my children were born. And so, or my child was born. And so she built a house that was large enough for 3 people, and yet not too large that it would be too much to take care of when there were only 2 people.
They thought this much ahead?
She thought this much ahead. I don't know if they or not, but right now you are actually standing on a rug that has been in this foyer as long as I remember. And if you recall, in my 2 foyers at home are little oriental rugs because, well, I could never find one like this. I knew that the best place to wipe your feet was not on a mat, but on an oriental rug. and so that's what we've been doing.
Is that what they say in Asia?
Yes, that's what they say in the Orient.
So if today's February 18th, 2000, then they built the house in,
Did you say
what
47?
did you say?
42.
42. In 42.
So who's good at arithmetic or subtraction?
So the house
Well, they
is-
built in 42, and it's 2000, so it'd be 58 years old.
Right, and not only is it still standing, it's still standing beautifully.
pretty good condition.
Yes, and you see, when you look at this house, and you look up, because wherever there's a fixture, it is going to be so beautiful. I don't know where she found them, but they are just so lovely, little flowers, and
Can't get those anymore.
if you can, I would have no idea where. I probably would have had no idea where anyway. Anyway, what?
Did Aunt Gert bring this jade back from Hong Kong?
I think that Aunt Gert and Aunt Sophie, who after they were widowed, started palling around the world together, but their favorite brought these because they knew that Nana wanted jade, particularly pink jade. So that's the little Buddha. But they loved Hong Kong because in those days you could really get bargains in Hong Kong, and so they brought those. Up there, those 2 vases, I don't know where she got them, but they've always been there. All of the books on the upper shelves have always been there, all the leather-bound books and the older books, the books that aren't paper, covered in paper.
Have you read them all?
I read a lot of them, actually. Growing up, I was a big reader. But these are books that she accumulated. You've heard of the modern library editions, which they're starting to reissue. But in the early 30s, they were leather bound. And she would get whole sets of these wonderful books. They're all classics. This is a woman who never went beyond maybe 1 semester of college. But this is the...
But she was well read.
She was so well read, and she continued to be well read.
Kipling's Indian Tales.
That's
Brothers
right.
Karamazov.
All
Gulliver's Travels.
all of those. But
Wuthering Heights.
yes, you can tell Nana from Grandpa because all the romantic classics are Nana, and and all the history, Israel, all the biographies of statesmen. That's
Kissinger
Grandpa,
right there.
right? Let's see. Well, this one, From Beirut to Jerusalem, Thomas Friedman grew up in North Minneapolis, and he came to Detroit to lecture to read, and so I had him sign this.
This looks like Seth.
That's interesting.
This picture?
That's interesting you say that because Nana loved this painting because she felt that the boy in the painting looked like Grandpa when he was a boy, and so she hung it there.
Looks like Seth to me without a beard.
Is that a hint? Anyway,
It's okay if it looks like Grandpa.
but all of these little things here she collected along the way, or they were given to her. Little soapstone, which must be Inuit art. Some valuable, some not valuable, and then the pictures. the pictures of Nana and Coke when they were little girls, which I put next to Nana and Coke from
As big girls.
as big girls just a couple months ago.
Well, that's a great contrast.
Isn't that? And this is, I'm not sure who these are or where these are, but this is Nan and Grandpa when they came at the time of your graduation from high school, Seth.
I remember that.
And this picture here is Grandpa's 70th birthday. I'd flown in to surprise him.
Oh, look, and here's my singing debut.
There you are in our house. There's this
Doing my little concert.
baby take a bow.
Where's that mouse?
That's our old house. So you left when you were 3, which you have no memory of.
Did you read this copy of Les Miserables?
I wish I had, but I didn't.
Didn't?
No, but I will now.
She saw the musical.
I have one more question
What?
about the books. You're talking about Nana's books being different from Grandpa's.
Uh-huh.
Just looking. So here we've got the Israelis. We all know that's Grandpa's book.
Yeah.
Who's Graham Greene?
Oh, that's one of Nana's books stuck in there.
That's
Actually,
one of that's
there are
what I
a few
thought.
of Nana's stuck in there. Yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
thought.
British novelist.
Okay, so they mixed
Yeah.
their library.
Well,
They weren't
on the
all-
lower shelves, they
Okay.
mixed the library.
They weren't all concerned about
Okay, this
who.
What
This-
is this?
that I don't know. It looks like a little
I
Persian
thought it was
something or other.
water.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure what it is, but it's pretty. But when I was growing up, we went to Florida. Then after I got married and moved away, they started going to Scottsdale, and they got really interested in Western art. And so they started to collect it. And this is one of them, my favorite, a little Navajo shepherdess with a baby
This is
lamb. This is a Navajo with the mother. You can see the mother looking at the baby anxiously. And it's just so sweet. And this desk, this was Nana's desk. She did all of her business, from all her financial and personal business at this desk, and it's been there all my life.
What about this one? This
I-
looks rather exotic.
It's beautiful, but I don't know any history to it. But if you look in this room, these are Nana's colors. This is everything. She would get decorators who would bring her fabrics, and then she would tell them what she wanted. So she never had a decorator decorate for her. And then she added art. That picture, that drawing came from Detroit. These 2 paintings on the wall, the little Lifo, the Vietnamese right there, and the painting over here came from a gallery in Palm Beach and New York and who knows where else. But this painting, she said, always reminded her of Sasha as a little girl. And Nana just had a sense of color. She never wanted too much on a wall, so she was very judicious in her placement of art. You know, you wouldn't find a wall of pictures.
No, I'll tell you what I like.
What?
2 things about this one. One is I love the view out the window.
Oh yeah.
There's something about seeing the old neighborhood and the little light post there on the corner by the stairs.
Well, I spent so much of my childhood sitting on this sofa, looking out of this window, and past that to St. Catherine's. I could actually see the nuns playing baseball in the spring. I know. They would play behind the house across the street. I mean, there's a big fence that separates the grounds of St. Catherine's College, which was also a convent. But you could look, it's pretty dense now, but subtract
There's a lot of girls there.
Subtract 50 years, well, a lot of girls now, but those were novitiate nuns, so, and then they wore habits, and they would pick, yes, and they would pick up the skirts and run, and
Who used to live across?
the Farrells lived there, the Shocketts lived there, the Judge Kincaid lived there, the Laramies lived there, the Silburys lived there. I forget their names, but they were very nice, who lived on the other side. And if you ask me who lives there now, I couldn't begin to tell you.
Now, there's one other thing about the room that always amazed me, and that's the picture over the fireplace.
Okay, but first, look at that fireplace. Before we look at my picture, which embarrassingly dominates this room. But I love it and do not want to be displaced ever. That's beautiful, pink marble, like that, and then the built-in screen.
Is that pewter?
Go stand in front of the picture so you
Is this
can get.
pewter?
Oh, so you can see what age has done to me? Do you really want to do that
I've never gotten to see, you by your.
by myself?
Give me that
Turn
light.
around and look out.
Turn and smile at us now.
Oh, I cannot.
With your lips closed.
Anyway, to me, what I loved when I was little was that wherever you walk in this room, the eyes follow you. And apparently that's because I was looking directly at the artist. This is done in what they call pastels, chalk.
Yeah, but when we talked the other day and I said, now why is the dress pink? Because your hair bows are blue, and Nana was so coordinated, she would have never put you in blue hair bows in a pink dress.
And well, because the dress I was really sitting in was blue. And somehow there was an oversight, so that she wanted the dress to be pink, so she changed the color. I had the artist.
The room.
I'm sure to go with the room. But somehow they forgot it. Or maybe she wanted it to go with my eyes, so she deliberately left it. That could be. I don't know.
Didn't Cousin Connie have one done in a blue dress?
Everybody, well, yes, Connie's dress was blue. Margie's, I think, was pink. My mother and everyone in her circle of friends had this artist whose name I cannot figure out. And he did Gail and her sister, and Margie and Connie, and
So this is 1942, so how old were you?
5
5 years old.
5 years old. So I must have just come in to this house, and I remember sitting on a chair there while he sketched me.
And where did she get these from to go with it?
I don't know.
These are like my favorite. I love these.
She would go to, they're called lusters, excuse me, I believe, but in their travels, in antique stores here,
What's Luster's? The name of the person who made
the
it?
name of what this
thing is.
yeah. But these are beautiful chimes. Also, Cousin Connie, if we,
Wait, really,
what,
just
more?
2 words.
What?
Frog.
Oh,
Phone.
okay,
no.
all right, Aaron,
Phone.
okay. Oh, wait, and there's another thing.
That frog phone came from Uncle Sid's
This one?
invitational, golf tournament.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was the runner-up booby prize.
The runner-up.
Well, who got that?
This is the worst phone.
Apparently, Grandpa and a couple
Oh.
other
Whenever you talk on it, if you push too hard, it disconnects, and it's got a corking ring goes.
people. Yeah, there's a chirps.
Sash, don't,
Yeah, chirp.
don't deride the frog phone.
Yeah, please. It's special.
What about the pencil
Well, that
or
she,
charcoal paint?
it's by the same artist that did my Bunaraku
Puppeteer.
puppeteer at home, Canadian artist, and Nana loved it, so she bought it.
You got Nana these pillows.
She saw I had these pillows, and she liked them so much that, again, she got them in Detroit from Azars. This table she loved. She always wanted a Philip Verne table, and finally got enough money, I guess, to order it. And now these are really hot in the Art Deco world. Once you've seen one, you will always recognize it because it will be pewter. These are pewter and bronze, and
They colored them.
then they color them in some way, and so they're metal.
I wonder how you clean it.
You just don't get it dirty.
All
Is there,
right.
is there any story behind this, or is this just a little?
It's a little tchotchke, which she got little tchotchkes. You see them around, but they're all lovely, unlike most people's little tchotchkes. And this, I think they got in Detroit, and I think it's, but it's, children playing. So
Hey, look, the three of us.
if you were to stand here and just look at this room, just pretend you're a camera and pan this room, to me it's so warm and inviting and beautiful.
There's lots of it, and there's my favorite chair over there. The
Yeah.
plaid. I was so upset when wanted to recover that because it had that lighter, delicate fabric. And she said, don't worry, Sash. It's going to be okay. I'm going to pick something very carefully that's as close as I can get. And that doesn't need plastic on it.
It's just so beautiful.
What about these
Okay.
other two sculptures? At the end of the room, the woman standing.
Oh, the
and
woman
crystal.
standing, the crystal I'm not too sure
What does this mean?
about. But the woman standing, she fell in love with, they were in Puerto Rico, staying in a hotel in Old San Juan. And this artist had his studio on the grounds. And didn't take Nana long to make up her mind. And she fell in love with it, and she bought it. And there's nothing here that she didn't love.
Is there a story behind this crystal sculpture?
If there is, I don't know it. I don't know where it came from, you know, but again, it's pale pink quartz, and it's got something on top. I don't know, and I think this is Israeli, and Coke has something different, but obviously the same from there. Yeah.
I always thought this was quite a piece.
You-
This sculpture picture.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to call it.
And now that I'm looking at it, I can see that those are houses.
Oh.
I mean, aren't they?
And there's the sun and
Yeah.
I thought it was an angel
Not.
floating over
Well,
it.
you could
But
think
there's
that
her
too
wings,
with the wings.
Look,
So it's a Rorschach.
the head and the wings and the body. I thought she was flying over.
Yeah, but you could also look at it like, like warrens. You know, people live here, people live here, there.
Oh, maybe that's the
I don't know. We'd have to look up and see what it is.
Okay.
These stairs were one of my great pleasures when I was a little girl, and actually when I became a big girl, and obviously even an old girl, because Sasha saw me doing it the other day, and that was running and leaping over these stairs to get to the door, to go into the other room, whatever. And Sasha said, "Mom, don't fall." And I thought, what do you mean fall? I've been jumping over these stairs all my life.
You jump down?
Yes, I
You-
would
you
come
like
racing.
this?
Exactly.
Okay.
Only faster. And you did too, Aaron?
Yeah, I used to make a run of it off of these stairs here, over to those stairs, and I'd have enough momentum to get all the way up.
Really?
Really? Let's see.
Okay.
Do it.
I know I could do it because I did it for Jacqueline the other day.
Okay.
It would usually start like about back here, but this table was always an obstacle. Like you had to clear the table, and then
Very good. Good job. Rocky.
Mom, I've always wondered who selected this wallpaper?
Well,
It's such a striking room.
Everything that you see was selected by Nana. Maybe in the den, which I will show you later. Maybe in the den there was something that she allowed Grandpa to select, but no, but what she selected was for his comfort too. Somewhere along the line, when I was quite young, actually, she put this wallpaper up. I can't even remember what was there before. And while usually I don't like muraled wallpaper, I just think it's gorgeous. The colors,
Well, it gives you an
it's so
idea.
rich. And then if you look, she somehow got, curtains, drapery rather, that would pick up one of the colors in the mural.
I really like
And then she covered the seats to go with all of those, so that same color. Uh-huh. And then she put plastic on them so that nobody would, so she'd never have to recover them again.
Yeah, because once she
Yeah.
put something in, it was in.
It was in. Now these are probably as old as I am, and they've always been in the corner, these brass lamps. And you would step on them and turn them on. And yeah,
How so? Go ahead.
I think like that. And I just learned this she bought at Habitat Gallery in Detroit when it was when it was in, no, when it was in Southfield.
With glass.
This,
got a lot
this
of
glass
stuff in
sculpture.
Michigan.
Yeah, well, we lived there a long time and she would come and visit.
I always thought it was a crab, like some
I
taking
had,
apart a crab
I don't know
and
what
putting
it
back
is,
together.
but it's beautiful, and
Wow.
you see it had her colors, so of course. And I just learned that this, which always looked like the chandelier that hung at my in my Aunt Sophie's dining room, is the chandelier that hung in my Aunt Sophie's dining room, and she must have sold it to Nana when she moved out of the Calhoun Beach Club.
Is there a story behind this teapot?
No.
No.
Just a teapot.
Okay.
No other stories in this room. But listen, I mean, these are beautiful chandeliers. Okay,
Where to next?
where to next? Well,
The kitchen,
The kitchen.
we can do the kitchen.
my favorite little stool.
Well, the funny thing is, yes, this is a little step stool because Nana was a little woman, and you can see these are very high ceilings in this house. And maybe that's how they built them in the 40s. And so she needed something to climb up on. So I actually don't remember what these were when I was growing up. She refinished them maybe 30 years ago
Oh, I
or
didn't
something
know
like.
that.
They're not the original. And this isn't the original floor, but looks like the original floor. And
Did Nana spend a lot of time in here, Mom?
uh,
I seem to remember a lot of breakfasts.
yes.
French toast.
But Nana, because Nana didn't really, she was not someone who loved to eat. She therefore was not someone who loved to cook, but she would find ways of making really delicious food quickly. Like she would make a wonderful salad dressing with bottled dressing, and I've never known anyone who could do that but my mother. So, and I mean, the kitchen just reflects all these little pretty little things all around.
Sugar.
Yeah.
I just noticed something.
Hmm.
I always love the chairs at the table
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I remember when she
and
got
the
this.
placemats of all those colors. And if you look above all the windows in this room are the little
Oh, I
mini
didn't even
frames,
think about that.
and they're all the same
Same color.
primary colors. Yeah, it's like a very happy room.
Yeah. Well, being happy was just part of what she was all about. And then she would put these little things, which in most people's house I would think is dumb, and I just find so charming.
Little fruits and pears.
Yeah, a little metal, what, I don't even know what, but
What
you
is
would
up
call
here?
it. Hmm? Oh, well, let's look out.
Not bad. Look at that little pot.
I've never seen that.
Oh, this says,
What does it say?
it says, Rincon, Aragon, Zaragonzana, 1830.
There's the name of the artist.
I don't know, I think it's the name of a place
Nanny's
in
always
Spain
said
or
this
whatever,
crab.
although she never went to Spain. But no, what I thought you were going to say was look outside.
No, I said
Because
okay.
when I was growing up, there was a crabapple tree right there.
And two pink plastic flamingos.
I don't thankfully remember
I
those.
do. She used to have
But the crabapple tree, she and Dorothy, who worked for her, would make crabapple jelly because it was very bountiful. And you can't see, well, if you were to look out here, everyone, there's actually a small stone wall, just like the one that separates the property, the house next to us here. There's a similar wall that separates us from the house next door because we're higher. And after I saw National Velvet, I didn't just leap little steps in the house. I would ride my horse over that wall and around the house and then come back again. And now I couldn't do it because they made,
Hey.
those nasty neighbors built a fence. And so I wouldn't be able to do that. But anyway, this isn't the kitchen I grew up in, but
Just the kitchen.
probably the
It's the
grid,
kitchen we all-
right, that's what I was going to say. But it's enough like it because her taste really didn't change that much.
But even though she didn't cook a lot, she always used to sit there with a cup of coffee and with paper or something.
Well, she always cooked, but, well, growing up it was roast beef once a week and meatloaf, steak, chicken. And then Dorothy always made the chicken, and Dorothy always made the apple pies.
Who made the gooseberry?
Dorothy. Dorothy made the pies.
I remember those. What I remember is Grandpa always coming off the door here because he would be grilling steak.
Yeah,
I remember
because
a lot
he
of-
had the,
a lot of barbecuing.
yeah, right out there. That was his province.
Mhm.
We're a very traditional family.
It's still out there, isn't it? The
It is
grill,
still
you
out
can't
there.
quite see it.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
It's at a sharp angle to the right. Look out.
And then there'd be a little garden which you just can't see that would just go all the way around.
The edge.
Because there really isn't that much property. But it
I
would do
remember a
that.
story about the garden where Nana said that she had a dear friend whose ashes she scattered in the garden. Do you remember the
Really?
story?
No, I
I
don't.
used to always
Who?
marvel at the roses
Who?
and the flowers.
Who?
I don't know. But I remember the story. Nana, Nana.
How old were you when she told you that?
Probably the first time I was probably 9 or 10. But she said she had a dear friend who loved her flower garden and whose request was after she was cremated to be buried in the yard.
We'll ask Coke,
Okay.
because I
That's
just
the
don't
story I
know.
remember though, Nana
Yeah.
telling me.
Where's that fish? It used to be over Grandpa's.
In the office?
The big swordfish
Okay,
rainbow.
downstairs.
I haven't been able
Are we
to
going
find
downstairs? or
Yeah,
do you
we're
wanna
going.
show the rest
No,
of
we're
the-
going to go downstairs, and then
Oh.
I'll show you.
Down Makiko Way?
Right, because Nana was so clever with words, and in those days people really entertained a lot in the recreation room. So she got a local artist to make a mural on both sides. And I mean, this is probably 1948 or something like that. I mean, really, I was probably about 10 or something, and it said down Mackikill Way, and then she had the Mexican dancers.
Would you say Nana loved Latin themes?
Not, yeah, well, she must have when she was decorating her basement, because there used to be maracas, and you'll see, if you come down here, you'll see big sombreros, and I guess that was the motif down here. Here's the fish you were asking about.
No, that's not it. The
Oh.
one with the nose.
Oh, the
The
sailfish?
sailfish.
I don't know where the sailfish is. Does anyone see? Maybe the sailfish is in here. Somebody's stolen the sailfish.
Here's some giant sombreros with all Latin things.
Yes. Well, you can see the little serape.
Maybe there's such a kind of person with a big hat like
Yeah, I
So
don't.
the sun's out here.
Oh my God! Maybe the swordfish. We'll look in the other room in a minute. But there used to be a ping pong table here, and I mean, I spent years playing ping pong.
Perfecting.
Yeah, I was really good.
I never saw the ping pong.
You never saw the ping pong table? It was right here. And
That little store.
Seth's little, well, it was my little store first. The little store, and Chinese checkers. I played Chinese checkers forever.
I love Chinese food. I love Grandpa's pie.
Oh, I didn't know they were here. My goodness.
Probably smoked out of every single one of these.
Probably. I mean, he was an avid pipe smoker and cigar smoker.
What's this? Oh, more pipe.
More pipe.
Grandpa gave Dad a bunch of his pipes too. These are just the ones that are left.
Really?
Did they play this?
Nana and her lady friends played Maj, as they called it. Maj, when they were young, and then it became canasta, or canasta.
Look, oops. It looks like cushions from up in the den, the couch.
Were you looking for the fish? Oh, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the fish ain't in there.
Anyway, they would have I can remember my birthday parties. She would turn the ping pong table into the table where all the girls sat around it and served. In fact, once, I think it was my 10th birthday party, I'm not sure, she was so busy rushing around, she actually slipped on the kitchen floor and broke her leg. Or no, her arm. She broke her arm.
Did she finish the party though?
Somehow. And somehow the party got finished,
Oh my
yeah.
goodness. I never heard that story.
Anyway, but you can see, oh, and whenever we would watch movies, they used to take movies of their trips on 8mm film, and so they'd set the projector up there.
I think that's the projector right there. Behind.
I bet it is. Sure it is. And then they would set up the screen there, and we would watch the movies of ourselves, which we loved.
Black and white, I assume.
No, color. In fact, your father had them put on a video. Maybe Terry did it. Maybe his nephew Terry, your cousin Terry did it. I don't
I know
know.
we've got all these slides. Dad said he's got a slide projector.
Executive Snack Dispenser for your office.
But anyway,
But you can always count on Terry.
but wait, this is really important. This wall, these pictures here are, you know, Grandpa and his two cousins. This is Aunt Sue's wedding. That was Aunt Sophie, at Aunt Sophie's house. Grandpa went to Israel, and here he is with various people from Israel on the kibbutz. This was a very early mission. There he's wearing that kibbutznik hat.
Kibbutznik?
Yeah. And there is,
that?
that's the former mayor of St. Paul congratulating them on their wedding anniversary.
Did he used to actually mix drinks here for people?
Yeah, they did. Or they'd have a bartender do it. And there's their favorite picture of me. I made those candles.
Oh, with the wax?
With the wax, I held wax candles forever over Coca-Cola bottles and made those as some project or other.
Who did the caricatures of Grandpa?
I don't know. Could have been in Florida, could have been at some fundraiser, could have been at a party. I love the silhouette. The caricature actually,
I like the
Don't
silhouette
like-
better.
yeah, I love the silhouette.
Look, from both sides.
From both sides. Here's Aunt Esther at her wedding, and here is Larry's aunt, Marion, the one that came yesterday but doesn't drive at night, so couldn't come back last night. And there's your grandpa, your great-grandfather. That's Nana's father.
What's his name?
Well, they always
Thomas?
referred to him as TM, but his name was Tom Thomas. And let me just look in here and see if the swordfish is here, because if it isn't, I don't.
think I heard that the swordfish had begun to deteriorate or rot in the office, that it was decomposing,
Really?
that it was somehow not in good shape.
Mm.
That's what I seen.
Anyway, this is a really, what this shows is how fastidious they were. You know, everything, I mean, all the junk is our junk. You know, everything had its place. Yes.
Christy had a question.
What?
Where was this party?
This was at Connie and Margie's mother's and father's house.
So,
And they had a little balcony on the second floor where Connie and I used to play Romeo and Juliet. You can I would lean over, I loved it. And so this angle tells me that somebody stood on that balcony and took that picture. And Aunt Sue was marrying Uncle Eddie. And there's Grandpa. And there's Aunt Betty. And there's Aunt Sophie. And I don't know where I am. And there's Aunt Sue. There's the bride and groom. You can kind of see them.
Okay, so this was, I guess, your bedroom when you were little.
This has always been my bedroom.
And this was my bedroom when I was little, when we come to visit. And
Yeah.
if you look on top, I kind of called dibs on it. There's little stickers on it with my name on them.
But you have stickers on both beds.
You do?
Yes, you do.
That's because they're both mine.
Yeah, I thought this was my room, Mom.
No,
This is where I stay.
your room,
This is
but
my bed, because Mom always said, I said, how come I can never sleep in that bed? And she said, because that's my bed. That's your bed. So, well, it's fine.
I think Mom was just putting you on, Sash.
But there used to be a desk here that matched that pink chair, and it's actually my house now, and it's painted white. But this room used to be known as the shocking pink room because it used to have
Mhm.
more pink in it.
And Jory's, you know, the blue desk dresser
Yes.
combination.
Was it here?
Yes, it was here originally.
The one that's red now.
Yeah, the one that was red for you, and
I painted it blue for George.
yeah,
Oh, back to blue.
and I think Aaron must have had it sometime.
Is this little Buddha light? Is there
I think it
any
just
notion where it
reflects,
came
you
from?
know, Nana's taste, and that lamp right there, which I love, reflects her taste.
What are these prints? Are these Vietnamese or
I think they're Thai.
Thai?
Only in those days they were probably been called Siamese.
What about the blue dragon?
Oh, they're just little collectibles. But this was my clock.
So
Oh.
you got it for...
Yes, I got it from school.
Is that the clock you turned off so you didn't have to go to camp?
Yes, I believe it was. but this is ingenious because this really isn't a large house and not a large bedroom. To make room for books, which is always important. So if you look here, what they did was cut out the middle of the closet, recess a little bookcase,
That's very cool.
and made bookshelves or collectible
And that is-
shelves.
I don't think it ever occurred to me really that like
That's
it's
a closet.
bookshelf built into a door.
Yeah,
Did you say who had designed it? Or did they-
Harry Bernstein, who was married to Nana's cousin. But you see this solid wall right here?
Mhm.
It was an alcove, which I used as a playroom, and that little pink table and chair set would go in there. But then, when they decided to build a den where the garage was, they made a wall, and then that little kitchenette, which
Oh,
is,
that's what that is.
my alcove became the kitchenette in the den, which I will show you. This peach-colored bathroom goes back to the beginning of the house, but the way the towel racks are built into the tile, I just don't think you see that anymore. The foil paper represented, you know, the period when foil was very popular. But you see marble, just all these little appointments, marble countertops, beautiful little tea towels.
Which have never been touched. They're just
never been
decorating.
touched, but painfully embroidered by nuns.
What is this? The fiddle on the roof?
This
It
is the Fiddler on the Roof. Yes,
I was joking.
yes. An award that Grandpa was given by the State of Israel. And then their bedroom, which
Look, Nana's perfume tray.
yeah, Nana's perfume tray, but you know, pictures of all of you kids. But if you notice, the wallpaper, the
Bed skirting.
bed skirting, the chair, the curtain
It's all
top,
the same.
it's all the same fabric. So all these little details.
But blue instead of pink.
Yeah, maybe it's because it was the master bedroom, and so pink would have made it too feminine for my father. And this beautiful, yeah. And then a little bathroom, just a tiny little bathroom
Also blue.
around the corner, also
match,
blue,
very
just
coordinated.
to match and to give privacy.
And that you told me that this, you told me about this dragon tapestry.
This dragon tapestry came from Detroit. The Gallery of Arts and Crafts, of Contemporary Arts and Crafts in the Fisher Building had just opened, and this was a signature piece. It was featured in the newspaper. So Nan and Grandpa were in town on the day of the opening, so we all went to,
The opening.
we all,
You said that like she walked in and she was in there 3 minutes and had bought it.
she bought it. But I didn't know that she even had paid attention to it. I guess that's what clever people do in antique
Well,
stores.
look, it's got the pinks and the blues.
But
Yeah, everything.
she absolutely astounded them by saying, I would like to buy that, because I'm sure they expected it to hang there at least for a week, if not longer. And then she got the idea of hanging it behind her bed.
Is this the neatest find you ever saw?
Yeah,
These folks.
uh-huh.
when I
And
was
this,
little. My playroom.
well, it was my screened-in porch until
The
they,
ugliest, most uncomfortable room in the whole house.
no,
My
but
favorite room.
it was,
It's so
you can't, you see what they did is they, instead of just having a screens, they made it with screen and storm windows combined, and so they made it more contemporary, but to me, it wasn't the same. I would lie on whatever sofa was there. I would ride my bicycle to the nearest library, fill up the basket with books, come out here and just ride through the tar, which was always on the streets, and lie down here and just read for the summer, unless I was being sent to camp, but but I just loved it. And then out there, of course, that's where the clothesline was. I don't know what happened to it, but they would hang the clothes, and but it was just so nice. I can remember listening to Sugar Ray Robinson. They'd gather out here and listen to the boxing matches, yeah, which I guess is why I like boxing, because that's what they did. But it didn't have a closed-in feeling then, and you can see this must have been there with the original porch. I don't think they make them like that anymore either.
It's unplugged.
But it was nice to come out and sit. I mean, I have pictures of you kids, or at least of Sasha, sitting at this little table, right, Sasha?
I used to love to sit there with my dolls.
Right, at this little table.
Special little, it was like
Oh, I remember
a
this
little
table
dollhouse.
very well.
And I made Nana promise never to get new AstroTurf or change these, and she didn't. So there you go. Do you know what I used to do? Is these French doors out here,
Yeah, let's see that, but
shutting them and opening them.
Just look, Seth. They have it on the window of the back door too. Instead of an ugly iron grill to give you protection and privacy, there's something artistic about this. I mean, you wouldn't think of it as a grill, but that's what it really is. But it's just artistic.
Does Grandpa's watch count as a part of the house?
It can if it's on your wrist. Anyway, I want to show you the den. I don't know if you ever knew this, Seth, but none of this existed in the original house. This would have been a solid wall, and this, on the other side of the wall, was the garage, because the house is actually set on a hill.
Yes.
So when they decided when I was 11, which would have been 6 years after we had lived here, that they needed more room, they wanted a den. Television had also come into being, so they wanted a place to watch television, which would never be the living room, as it is not in my house.
Or ours.
Yeah.
Much to my
So
chagrin.
they knocked out that wall.
I didn't know that though. I thought this came with the
Look
house.
down here. They dug out the driveway, so instead of a hill coming up,
Oh.
see, it was a hill with a kind of path leading to the front door, made the steps and the railing, made a garage underneath the original garage, and voila, a room. And then they closed up that alcove that I told you about in my room and made a little kitchen, a little bar kitchen with a sink and shelves and a little refrigerator. And
So Nana and Grandpa just loved entertaining, didn't they?
well,
Seems like the house is set up.
when they had big parties, it was always someplace else, but family affairs, people coming over, family coming over, yeah,
Nana must have spent a lot of time in here, because everywhere I look, there's a small sculpture or a picture. And there's
Uh-huh.
a lot of stuff in it.
Well,
What's this one
this,
from?
what?
This isn't a word to Grandpa, isn't it?
Oh, read it, I don't know.
Presented to Sylvan and Estelle Mack on their 50th wedding anniversary in grateful appreciation for their years of support and dedication. Jewish Community Center of St. Paul, June 23rd, 83.
Okay. This was Grandpa's favorite statue. He loved Western things, and he was, well, most of the art was Nana's, and Grandpa would agree or not agree. That he picked out, and I think it's just magnificent. I really do.
You know what's so funny is in my mind's eye, it's about 5 times that size.
Yeah. Well, the original it was presented to whatever president was around at that time, and is in the White House.
Probably Roosevelt, I guess.
Oh no,
No.
much
When did
later.
they acquire this Rembrandt spin-off?
This Rembrandt spin-off was your brother Aaron's self-portrait. When he was at RISD, he had to do his assignment was a self-portrait in the style of Cézanne, and I just
Cézanne,
loved,
whoops.
yeah, and I loved it so much that I framed it and gave it to Nana for her birthday because, oh, Aaron's getting the original, because
There you go.
there was very little that we could give her that she didn't already have, but that she loved that. So
Beard face.
that's the story of the den. But this was Nana. Nana loved this painting behind you, Seth.
Oh.
Loved it.
What is it?
It's umbrellas at a beach.
That's what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
What about this little picture with the
That's
crick
an Agam. He's a really well-known
The image shifts when you go from side to side.
op art artist. Yeah, the colors shift. Everything
So
does.
if you shift to the left, you see a black and white swirl.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, wow.
Anyway, I think Grandpa loved this picture too.
I'm very
Nana
fond of
liked-
this picture.
Are
I love
you?
This picture, yes.
Well, I used to love it until they put it over the fireplace for a while instead of mine, and then I took great exception to it. So
I don't think I got to ask, what about the flautist?
she just came. Nana must have seen her and liked her, but she's not particularly important.
What's in the attic? Did you ever live up here?
Yes, there was a period where I wanted to be alone, and so I don't know, in my pre-teenage years. So this was the attic, and in fact, after World War II, when Coke and Uncle Sid came back, they lived here until they found a house. So it was always set up as a bedroom. Here was, real storage. And because we just replaced the roof, it is a mess. This was a cedar closet that Nana built, which it's not that interesting, and it's very cold. And in here was a little bedroom. And in the early days of World War II, when there was what they called maids, live-in help, this is where the live-in help would live. And then it's just become a repository. But this was painted of me when I was 16 in Miami Beach. They would have these artists.
Looks like Marilyn
I
Monroe.
know that was popular at the time. And then again, always bookshelves, a little window seat to sit and look out at the nuns playing baseball. See?
Oh, this is how you'd see them.
Yeah, but I could see them from the bay window down there too. And this little dressing table used to be over there. And this must be the original skirt. I think it is. I remember it was. And this mirror would go on top of it like that. And then you would sit at a little, padded stool. And
That young man.
that young man is your husband. when he was just a year.
I kind of love the way it's juxtaposed with this
Yes.
picture of Grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
Is that fair?
Oh, I think that's great. In fact, if you would like to have them like together, you could certainly do that.
That'd be funny. What's this?
Oh, this is also from Aunt Sue's wedding, I think. No, this is just, this must have been Grandpa and Grandma Macks. Must have been a wedding anniversary, the way they're sitting. And this is Margie, that's Aunt Sophie. That's Janie's father. There's Connie, me, Nana. Uncle Eddie's right here.
That's Uncle Eddie?
Yeah, it's
My
Uncle Eddie.
goodness.
Oh, he was very dapper. Aunt Sue, Nana and Grandpa, Betty, Uncle Rube, that's Sophie's husband, Connie, and Margie's father, and Esther and Uncle Al.
And
And
Esther.
your great-grandparents.
And that's Joseph and Libby?
Right. Good show, Aaron.
Thank you.
This is Connie right here?
That's Connie.
Okay, well, Nana told me that years ago, they had ordered the stone and everything.
You mean
Yeah,
the stone for
The stone here.
Uh-huh.
But she had very carefully picked it out, and the contractor showed up with a truck full of stone, started unloading it, and then she came out to see the stone, and it turns out it's the wrong color.
Uh-huh.
The stone all the way up and down these edges, and all
By
up
that
here.
little
Yes,
rock over there?
all the stone facing the house.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, long story short, he started to unload. She said, "This isn't the right color. This isn't what I ordered." And he said, "Oh, it's close enough. It's almost the same. I've already started to unload it. I got to go back." She says, "Yes, that's what you need to do." Anyway, long story short, next thing you know, he's loading the truck up and then brought out what they did order, and this is it. But I guess,
Sure is pretty.
yeah, since
Sure
she
is
intended
pretty.
to live here her whole life, I don't think she intended to look at the wrong stone. Her
No,
whole
that's
life.
right. And this little lamppost,
Uh-huh.
the lamppost I think was always there, but then they must have repositioned it
Oh.
when they
This used to
made
be a
that.
hill,
This
you said?
this was a hill, and it went all the way up, parallel to this hill. And then I would lie here in the winter, which I won't show to you, and make angels like that, and slide down. And then I'd walk down that street to my school, and so there's something so wonderful about coming home to the house that you grew up in, and
Yeah.
this is it.
I know the feeling when I go to Detroit every now and then.
Hmm.
You want to walk up around the stairs here?
Oh,
See the
okay.
back?
Do you know that Sasha told me that Nana told her that it cost $7,000 to build the house? No,
Well,
$12,000 to build the house and $7,000 to do the addition.
Oh boy.
So anyway,
Can you get up here? Is
yeah.
it not too slippery?
No, it's not slippery
These
at
guys
all.
really do the walk, don't they?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
And these were raspberry bushes, which I would pilfer.
Wasn't there a gooseberry tree around here?
I don't know. I think Dorothy must have brought her own gooseberries.
No, I'm sure there
Oh,
was
maybe
one.
in there.
I'm sure there was one.
I
right
don't
around
think we
here.
can go any further, Seth.
Hmm.
I think we're kind of snowed in. But this is your legacy. This is where I grew up. And it's so pretty.